Good morning, class. Today we're going to take a road trip over the United States. We've got our big United States map here that we've had in our classroom. We've been talking about the United States. To open up this lesson, usually when you go on a road trip, you have music, and we're going to open our lesson with the Tour of the United States rap song. I want you to pay close attention because you're going to be choosing one of these states to write a poem about later on, okay? All right, here we go.
I'm afraid to fly, so I think I'll take the train. Let's go, go, go! Going to train in New Jersey, Frankfurt, Kentucky. Maybe take a trip to Jackson, Mississippi. Let's see what they can show me. In Jefferson City, Missouri. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Denver, Colorado. Boise, Idaho. I love it every time that I go. In 1492, we sail the ocean blue. But next week, I'll see Columbus in Ohio. Grab a little sunshine in Tallahassee, Florida. Take a bite of a beach in Atlanta, Georgia. I never been to Carson City in Nevada or Lincoln, Nebraska. You can catch me in Phoenix, Arizona, or Sacramento, California. Yeah, St. Paul, Minnesota, maybe Juneau, Alaska. Yeah, I want to take a little trip somewhere. Yeah, places I've never been. Yeah, going on a tour without a care. I want to take a little trip somewhere. Yeah, places I've never been. Boston, Massachusetts, Concord, New Hampshire. Going to Vermont for Montpelier. Montgomery, Alabama, then Washington, D.C. The nation's capital. Aloha to Honolulu, Hawaii, Des Moines, Iowa, so peaceful to me. Going to Springfield, Illinois, to build a little house on a prairie. In Little Rock, Arkansas, I love what I saw. Going back to Dover, Delaware, cause I'm a boy. Indianapolis, Indiana, and Hartford, Connecticut, need an encore. Smelling pine trees in Augusta, Maine. I like to be the since I'm glad that I came, but I've never been to Salt Lake City in Utah or Richmond, Virginia. Gonna see Bismarck, North Dakota, and Charleston, West Virginia. Yeah, Annapolis, Maryland, maybe Lansing, Michigan. Yeah, Helena, Montana, Columbia, South Carolina, Carolina, Pierre, South Dakota. Yeah, follow if you wanna. I'll be eating a banana in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Schedule that on my planner. Friends say I gotta come sooner to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So I guess I'm gonna. But first I'm going to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and party in Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Can't think of a rhyme for Pennsylvania. So I'm skipping Stoops and the Oregon, then Boston, Texas, and then maybe Albany, New York for breakfast. Providence, Rhode Island was a blast. And Olympia, Washington was just the bestest. I want to take a little trip somewhere, yeah. Places I've never been, yeah. Going on a tour without a care. I want to take a little trip somewhere, yeah. Places I've never been, yeah. Going on a tour. I want to take a little trip somewhere, yeah. Places I've never been, yeah. Going on a tour without a care. I want to take a little trip somewhere, yeah. Places I've never been, yeah. Going on a tour.
Yay! What a cool song, huh? All right, let me get it stopped for us. Here we go. Well, that was a pretty cool road trip song. Can you remember all the words? Just teasing. Okay, what we want to talk about now, I gave everybody a map. You have one of these under your desk. I want you to pick up the map. The This is a map of the United States. It's a smaller version of our big map, and the big map has a lot more detail on it. This one is what we're going to use to talk about the regions of the United States. We have, of course, we've talked about north, south, east, and west. We know north is up top, so our northern state we're going to talk about would be North Dakota. If we had a southern state, we wanted to talk about maybe Texas. And then, of course, over here in the east, we have Virginia, Pennsylvania. We have west, Washington, California. That's our north, south, east, and west directions. But we also have regions in the United States that we call northwest, northeast, southeast, things like that. So if you were going to, say, think about a northeastern state, we'd first want to determine it has to be in the north. So it's up at the top of the map here. You know, you have a map key. We've talked about map keys, and here's yours right here. It only has an N for north, but we've already learned our directions where north, south, east, and west are. So if we were going to do northeast, we know it's in the north, so and east is over here. So what do you think would be a northeastern state? Maine. Maine, that's an excellent answer. Maine is a northeastern state. Now, if we were going to choose a southeastern state, where would a southeastern state might be located? Which one would be? Believe it or not, Mississippi is a southeastern state. Florida, we live in the region of the southeastern states. Now, if we were going to choose a northwestern state, we know it's got to be north, and where's west? West is this way. So we could say Washington would be a northwestern state. If we were going to choose a southwestern state, what will we do first? We know it's in the south, so we go to the south. We know it's in the west, so it's on this side, so maybe choose Arizona. What I want you to be mindful of is when we start to pick our states out of our book in a few minutes, I want you to be mindful of what region your state that you choose is in. Where is that region? Because that's very important. That's what we want to focus on today. Now, we're going to get your book out with the My America a Poetry book, Atlas book. And what I want to do is, I don't have a book, so you have your book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play, this was a song, this book was featured on Reading Rainbow. And so here is an excerpt from the book. This is actually on the state of Hawaii. You don't have to choose, you can choose Hawaii. Remember, the only state you can't choose is Mississippi. So I want you to listen as he reads this poem to you. Actually, I think it's a woman that reads it.
Mauna Loa by Tom Robert Shue. Read by Leah Salonga. While Pacific Ocean's white surf gleams, rolling seas glide, shifting dreams, sudden thunders, tumbled tune, breaking lazy beauty of calm, quiet noon. Birds of paradise scatter as all birds do. Mauna Loa gulps, fire, long overdue.
There's your book.
My America, a collection of poetry that celebrates this great and grand.
Now, that particular book has all kinds of poems. That was another formula poem that we've been studying about, but I wanted you to hear an excerpt from the actual book. Now, what I want to talk a little bit about is I chose the state of Mississippi, so I'm going to read you the Mississippi poem, and then we're going to talk about what type of poem this is and how we're going to construct the poem we're going to do today. My Mississippi is always home to me. She's warm, charming, alluring. She's the queen of hospitality. I loved her from my earliest days. She's in my fondest memories. She's my heart and my soul and such a part of me. I love to share her beauty. People often misunderstand. Pleasures abundantly abound in my dear Magnolia land. Now, what type of poem is this? This is a formula poem. It is constructed with rhyming words. At the end, we have the stanzas, the different stanzas, and they end like your first two stanzas, me and hospitality. You have misunderstand and land. And that's a formula poem that was this particular poem. Now, that's from your book in Mississippi, which you're not going to choose Mississippi, right? Okay, now the poem we're going to construct is called a sing-cane poem. It is also a formula poem. Now, I'm going to pass out these sheets. This is your clean sheet that you're going to use when you write your poem. And we're not going to do it right now, but I just want you to see why so you can follow along, okay? As I read mine. Now, the first thing I wanted to note when I read my poem before I construct it is that my Mississippi is my state and it's in the southeast. So I make a note on at the top of my paper that where my region is, okay? Now, to construct a sing-cane poem, you put the title of your state. The title of your poem is the state that you choose. Mine was Mississippi. Second, your second stanza needs to be 2 words that describe Mississippi. For me, I chose hot and humid because our summers are so hot and they're so humid. The third stanza, you have 3 words. You can see how the formula, you can see the construction of this. And these words all need to end in ing. The words that I chose were interesting, exciting, and moving. Mississippi's moving forward. We're interesting. We have interesting things going on here. And we have exciting things. We have the fair. We have the different concerts that are held here. We have a lot of exciting things going on in Mississippi. Our fourth line, or fourth stanza, is constructed of 4 words that describe how I feel about Mississippi. Full of fantastic memories. Mississippi reminds me of my children and of lots of wonderful memories all over the state that I've done over my life. And then my 5th line is another word for what Mississippi means to me. And it needs to be 1 word, and for me it was home. So that's how you construct your sing-cane. Now you've got your paper, and you'll notice under your lines it tells you exactly your title is going to be a person, place, or thing. Mississippi. It tells you need adjectives here. It says describe and define. It's going to tell you. And it'll tell you ing words. Be mindful of that when you're constructing your poem. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take your blank piece of paper, leave your sing-cane worksheet at your desk with your map. And I want you to take your blank piece of paper and pencil that you also have out on your desk, and I want you to go to your computer. All right, everybody get to your computers. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take a virtual tour of the state that you're going to choose. Now, you don't have to exactly know right now, but I want you to be looking. What I want you to do is go to your computer, type in this website address. Exactly like you see it. Here are your markers for you to remember. You want to use all lowercase and no spaces between any letters or characters. Be sure you do that and type it in exactly like you see there. This is the screen you should see. I'll give you a second to do that. Okay. When you see this screen, you will notice that all of the states are on here. Every one of the 50 states. You can look in as many as you'd like. I want you to explore the website. You may click on one that you may not use, but I still want you to look at them. I chose Mississippi, so I'm going to go to Mississippi to show you what to do with your paper. All right. Now, what you're going to want to do after I'm clicking on Mississippi. After you found a state you might want to look at, we're going to let the computer pull up. Come on, Internet. All right. Mississippi is known as the Magnolia State. You will see, as I go down here, I see pictures. This is a bank of a river. Just a second, guys. Here we go. All right. And then on the left side of your screen, it'll have your fast facts. Names, your capital, state bird, state flower, history. You'll see a picture of the flag for that state. It'll tell you about the landforms, the geography. Is there mountains in the state? Is it hilly, or what is it the surface of the state like, the terrain? It'll tell you about the wildlife that's common to that particular state. We have deer here. I see that's one of the things that's on here. It'll talk about our natural resources, fun stuff. One of the fun facts from Mississippi is Elvis Presley was born here. So those kind of things will be on here. What I want you to do with your paper, when you decide the state you want to choose, and remember you can look through them all, is you just go and write 3 or 4 interesting things down. Just something, or maybe more, whatever you want to do. Now, you don't have to use this to construct your poem, but it's good to have a basic knowledge of what's your state like, okay? Now, what you're going to do, after you've got your state, today that's what you're going to do. You're going to find your state. Before you leave, you will have chosen your state. Tomorrow, when you come in, you will have a basket. There'll be different colored baskets, story baskets up here. You will bring from home 3 things that describe your state, or that are about your state, that we would know when you talk to us about your poem what your state is, okay? Now, they can be it doesn't matter what it is, any 3 things. Don't go buying, you don't have to buy anything. Just find, maybe you can borrow something, or just 3 things that you would use to describe the poem that you're going to construct. So, for tonight, what you have to do is you have to find your 3 things, construct your poem, come back tomorrow, and then you will do your presentation, okay? I'm going to do my presentation so you will know how tomorrow is going to be for you. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you my items. So I have my Mississippi necklace, because my poem is about Mississippi. I have, and I lay it down here, I have a temperature gauge, because I said Mississippi was hot and humid. So I place it right here so that you can see it. And then I said that Mississippi was full of fond memories. And this is a family picture. These are my children. It's a family portrait of us from a few years ago. And I said that right there. So that you can see my artifacts. I'm going to set my basket to the side. And then I will read my poem to you. The first thing I want to do, because I wrote at the top of my paper the region that my state is in. I want to say my region is in the southeastern part, or the southeast. If your region is in the north, you would say north. If your region is in the northeast, you would say northeast. That's your first thing. Now you will read your poem, and you'll have all your little display here for everybody to look at while you're reading. All right? Mississippi. Hot and humid. Interesting, exciting, moving forward. I added forward. Full of fantastic memories. Home. Okay, so that's how you're going to do your sing cane. Okay, after you're finished, you're going to turn your paper into me. You're going to put all of your items back in your basket, and you're going to put them on the table on the other side of the room. I'm going to put mine here for right now. Okay, you are going to be, I want to kind of go over how you're going to be graded. You're going to have this rubric, and these are the things you're going to be graded on, so I want you to pay attention to this. Your items have to be appropriate for your presentation. Your 3 things need to be about your state. You need to speak clearly so everybody can understand you. And you need to, when you're an audience member, you need to listen. I will be checking to see that all parts of your sing cane are present. If there's anything missing or anything like that, I will make notations of that on this paper. And you've got to be able to identify during your presentation the correct region of your state. Now, I will be doing this while you're doing your presentation. When you are done with your presentation, probably the next day, I will give this back to you, but I want to write feedback on here so you will be able to see some strengths and maybe some things you can improve on. This is just for you so that you'll, next time we do something like this, you'll know kind of what to expect and what I'm expecting you to do. All right, now after all that is done, here's our fun part of the whole presentation. The class, what you're going to do is you're going to take your poem. I'm going to give your poem back that you gave to me. You're going to take your poem, and you're going to take your story basket that you've left on the table over there, and you're going to go stand by it. And the class next door is going to come, and you're going to talk to them, and they're going to be able to view your poem. They're going to be able to see your story items from your story basket, and you can talk to them because they're going to be constructing story baskets and sing canes next week. So they're going to need some help. Their teacher would like for you to show them how you did this. So this is a teaching moment for you guys. I want you to be able to talk to them about what you did. Now look, I want you to go home, have fun with this, come back tomorrow, and be ready to talk to us about your state the region your state's in, and your sing cane poem with your story basket items. Have a good day.